Namaste, greetings, salutations. It's Thursday night. It's 9 o'clock. That makes it
Thursday Night Vibes
with Master Roachee and Caitlin. Oh, sorry, Queen Caitlin, the talent. Happy 420.
Happy 420.
You know, I dig this day because you know what 420 means to me. It's not a day to toke it up, smoke it up. You know, we do that every day. So, you know, it's not like a special day that way. I look at 420 as a day to celebrate how far we've come and look back on the struggles that's got us to this point, but also to recognize how far we have to go. You know, this is a veteran. I'm a veteran. Mama Roachee, who's the other owner of the company, is a disabled lady. Well, she's blind. Anybody that's met her, she's blind.
I'm a disabled lady.
So, you know, but we have no access in Indiana to any type of medication, cannabis medication. Indiana says that they have Marinol, so we have medical marijuana. That doesn't cut it. So I'm going to be very excited here in the near future to announce a partnership with a veterans group hopefully soon. So it's, you know, this is a day to celebrate, but also to make cannabis and the medication it provides available to everybody that needs it.
Hi, Tony.
Namaste. Namaste, Tony. Thank you for joining us. What does 420 mean to you, Kate? Tell me.
What does it mean to me?
Yes. What does 420 mean to you? I know it's a difficult question.
Happiness.
Happiness.
If I had to break it down to brass tacks, happiness. It's kind of like Christmas. I wait for this day to come around all year.
Right. It's kind of like for this community, it's kind of like Christmas, the 4th of July, Halloween, and New Year's, all kind of bundled into one.
Yeah.
You know, let your freak's flag fly on 420.
Yeah. You saw me out in the streets.
Right. So how are you doing today?
How am I doing today?
Yes.
I'm doing.
Hi, Lori. Namaste. Namaste.
Hello, Laura.
Laura.
Hello, Laura.
Laura.
I'm doing it.
You're doing it.
I'm doing.
You're
yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
You're doing. Oh, excuse me.
Yes, excuse you.
Excuse me.
I had tacos, so that always makes my day better.
Well, I am glad that Caitlin's having a good day. So how are you?
How am I?
How are you? Not only do I want to know, they want to know. How is Caitlin? How is Caitlin?
How is Caitlin? I don't know. Let me ask her real fast.
Oh. Yes. Yes. Yes.
She's good.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Good. You know, we've got a fantastic show coming up for you tonight. You know, we only bring on beautiful people. And for a 420 celebration, I can't think of anything better. Because we are going to be giving away not only some of our products tonight in celebration of 420, but we're going to be giving away an ebook to whoever, Caitlin, not just to one person.
Not just to one person.
Not just to one person, not just to two people. And I don't think there's anything a greater number than two that I can think of.
Right.
So, I mean, if it's not one, then it's much greater.
Much greater.
Much greater.
I see.
So it's going to be greater than two. Actually, Yes, go ahead.
Tony Parker
Yes.
said that they were born and raised in Indiana, just relocated to Michigan 3 years ago. 420 means a lot less worry to get medicine. Here.
Right on.
Here.
Right on, Tony.
Hello,
good evening.
Terry.
Namaste, Terry. Namaste. So we have Doktor High on tonight. And this book, I read it, and I tell you, I love it. And I'm a voracious reader. If you can't tell, I had 3 bookcases in here, and now I'm down to 1, and it breaks my heart. But anyway, this is an amazing book. Dr. High's got an amazing story. He's a beautiful person, and he is going to give away a copy of his ebook to anybody that wants it. So, this is a book that you want to get and read. Crystal, namaste. So, Caitlin, without further ado, would you like to bring on Dr. High?
Yes.
And not to mention, we have some great music coming. Tristan Beer tonight is going to be up, and Lindo Dope is going to be playing.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know. Kind of cool.
You're not cool.
Kids think I'm hip.
They don't. Kids think I'm hip.
No, I don't
Hello,
think
doctor.
So. Hey, greetings. Namaste, doctor.
Hey, doctor.
I tell you,
Happy 420.
Happy 420. I'm digging what you got going on there, my friend.
Yep. I was kind of jealous of yours. Yours is nice and full. I'm still working on mine. It's the junior version.
If it's any consolation, he has a couple stragglers that are a lot longer than the rest of his beard that catch the sun every once in a while, and I have to hold myself back from ripping them out of his face.
I mean, you can't simply trim them. No, that's
not my job.
Ripping them out of my face is her job.
That's what I do. That's what I do. Hello, Christopher Fisher.
Christopher, namaste. Thank you for joining us, Kayla.
Hello, Kayla.
So, Dr. High, I have read your book, and I tell you, I think this is one of the best books on cannabis that I have read in a while. Thank you for sharing this information, and I tell you, I really want to get our audience a copy of this because this is an amazing book. How did you? Why don't you take us back and to the beginning and tell us kind of what you've done and what's led up to this, and then we'll get more into the book as we go.
Perfect. Yeah, I first became involved in cannabis around 1978. 11 years old, smoked my first joint. Fell in love. By the time I finished high school, I was doing my own small growing of my plants for myself, which I continued for quite a long time. And then about 10 years ago, not really happy with what I was doing for a living. I was driving trucks, 18-wheelers.
Right
on. And I just needed a change, So I'm thinking to myself, what would I do every day for the rest of my life if I didn't require money? And that was work and talk and live cannabis because it was my true passion, right? And the thing about passion is you always continue to learn. You want more knowledge. You want to absorb it. And when you thrive on that sort of thing, then cannabis was it for me. So went down to my local head shop and looked for the oldest guy in the building because I was 45 myself at the time.
Right.
I seen the oldest guy in the space, and I walked over to him and I said, "Are you the boss here?" He was like, "Depends what you want, what you're looking for. If you're looking for hydroponic equipment, yes." But I said, "Actually, I'm looking for a job." So he pointed me over to a young kid, 23 years old. I went over there and told him I was looking for a job, and he took me right up to the owner's office and had a conversation. They hired me to work in the wholesale. They had a fairly wholesale. supplying a lot of head shops across Canada. I had 140 clients. So it was a pretty good business.
Yeah.
And so I started I was in Quebec, which is French speaking. I started handling their English business, worked with a lot of customers, gained a ton of knowledge from them and from my own research on what products worked and what didn't work. From there, evolved into selling extraction equipment and cultivation supplies to over 200 medical growers who bought
Right.
from the business I was working at. After a couple of years, they had the access to cannabis for medical purposes regulations in place in Canada, which allowed you to cultivate with a doctor's prescription 4.9 plants per gram per day. So the owner of the business decided he was going to make sure that we were all set up with medical prescriptions. So from there, he asked me to design and build out a cultivation facility, 4,000 square feet, designed for 615 plants, which we ran successfully for a couple of years. That evolved into extraction, started with BHO, just doing it for myself at first, with the tube and the butane and the pad, and got quite good at it. Was making nice product. So the owner of the business that I worked for with the grow and supplied me with a 5-pound closed loop system, 3 vacuum ovens. So went from there, started to make shatter on a pretty serious basis. That evolved into short path distillation, and then product formulation. Along the way, I had an opportunity to help people match with doctors. Because even though cannabis was possible for medical purposes here, it was really hard to find the doctors that would prescribe it, because the colleges here, the physicians' colleges, are still not recommending that their physicians prescribe cannabis. So finding a doctor is not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, a lot of the medical schools, until recently, not even all of them, aren't even teaching the endocannabinoid system.
No,
so
they're
the
not.
doctors don't have a
Alone can't.
preference.
Right, and doctors, I think their intention is always good, right? I mean, it's a difficult thing to do. And
Yeah.
I think that they shy away from cannabis because they don't understand it. A lot of the doctors that do work with cannabis, if you look at why they're working with cannabis, it's because they either had a family member who went through a medical condition and cannabis was the thing that tipped the balance in their favor, or they knew somebody, a real story that they were aware of and saw what happened, which brought them to say, you know what, I need to learn more. And the doctors that I worked with, because I matched over 100 people with doctors, and because I was in a French-speaking province and the doctors were in other provinces, I had to sit in for translating the appointments, the conferences.
Wow.
So I learned so much, right, from being in the middle of all these complex things. So I learned a lot of ways to ingest cannabis, prepare cannabis. And because I was already so deeply involved, access to the flower, fresh, dried flower, extracting, preparing things, from edibles to lotions to, I made about 100,000 vape pens, stuff like that. So I just came to become fascinated with it. And really its potential, dealing with all the growers, the medical growers that used to shop there. I used to listen to the stories because, we're cannabis people, so we're social, right? You come in to deal with me and we're doing business. We're having a relationship, and business is the result of that, right? So
exactly.
I got to learn about it. It was fascinating to me. And about a year ago, I had just been hired for kind of a dream job for me in a brand new extraction facility, specialized extraction. And I was going to be their procurement facilitator for the company.
Right on.
And my mother who lives in another province contacted me and said that they had some issues with the family business and they needed me to come and help them with that. So that's what I did. I gave up what I had worked towards for all those years to come and work with the family business, but I missed cannabis. You know what I mean? It's a part of me. It's so in October, because it's a seasonal thing, it's a swimming pool company.
Right on.
So in October, I stopped working for the season. I had time on my hands and I wanted to be involved somehow again. So I'd always known that there's a big gap in the medical side of things, especially in the initial education of people, you know, bringing them to the initial awareness of the potential of the plant, you know, people who've never used before. Well, one day I had an 80-year-old lady come into the store and she asked me for a glass pipe. Excuse me, I really smoked before we started. My mouth is dry.
Right.
But
we want to get up the first hashtag of the night.
Oh, we're going to do a hashtag?
Well, what are we going to do?
I didn't know we were going to do a hashtag. I thought you said everybody gets a book.
Everybody is going to get a book. That is the beautiful thing, but we're going to give away some of our product. It's 420. I know.
Oh,
we talked about
secrets. You and your secrets.
I thought we talked about this.
You and your secrets.
Thought we talked about this. Oh, Benjamin, Sandra, namaste. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, yeah, Kayla. Oh, Nico. Namaste. Thank you for joining us.
Sorry, doctor. He gets a little distracted.
Sometimes I get a little distracted, but I also want to remind everybody that this show here that you are being tortured with right now by Caitlin is brought to you by Master Roachee's Garden.
They're being tortured by me?
By you, yes.
I'm the eye candy of this show. What are you talking about, bud?
Pure torture.
Whatever.
Pure torture. MasterRoachee'sGarden.com. Check out our selection of CBD oils. And of course, got to get our world famous beard oil. So check out MasterRoachee'sGarden.com. Yes, a little self.
Is it hemp-based?
Pardon me?
Is it hemp-based?
Yes. Actually, cold pressed hemp seed oil is one of the basic components. Everything in it is edible. I don't recommend it because essential oils for the scent aroma don't taste good.
They're not good for the body.
And are probably harmful.
Use terpenes.
But
terpenes.
Terpenes.
Use terpenes.
Get the terpenes in your beard oil.
You know what? I would love to do that. And we're a pretty small company right now, and we have several things that are under development. And yes, we are really interested in a couple of different uses of some terpene combinations, along with some cannabinoid combinations that I'm really excited about. But as you know, it takes time and money to develop these things and make sure that they're effective because. We're very, very proud of our formulations, and we're not going to release anything. I mean, I put my face on our labels, so I'm not putting out anything I'm not 100% behind.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the good thing for me, though, because if anybody's dissatisfied, they aren't coming for Queen Kate. They will not come for me. They will come for you.
I will blame everything on you.
No.
So yeah, I mean, you obviously got a little bit of knowledge of the industry. Okay, you're coming from a really unique point of view. Being able to do all of that. So when did you decide to make the pivot into education?
Well, I'd always kind of been an educator, right? When I was working for licensed producers in Alberta, I went there before the plants went into $50 million company, brand new. So I was there when the first plants went in. I started in cultivation there under a master grower.
Right.
I moved on to genetics after harvest and worked with genetics for probably 2 harvests. And then they asked me to become the packaging and inventory supervisor. So I was responsible for the product from the time the master grower said it was complete in the dry room until the time it left the building. So all the curing process was my responsibility. All the tracking, inventory, because extremely tight in Canada, the regulation, but millions of grams, really, 56,000 square feet of grow, harvesting every week and a half, pretty much, 80 to 100 kilos. So yeah, it was quite the place. So it was a good education, but it was kind of disheartening too, right? Because up until that point, I'd always been around cannabis people doing cannabis things, people who had a passion for the plant. And that was the first time I was exposed to people who didn't care so much about the plant, only cared about the money.
Oh, that kind of sucks.
Well, it was so frustrating, right, to know the improvements you could make to the business, but not have their ear. You know, it was really tough because we knew there were several of us there who were extremely knowledgeable and cannabis passionate, who really tried to help them find the correct direction, but they were kind of stubborn about it. So it was unfortunate, that part of it. But, you know, it was just to see the other side was okay.
Right.
But back to your question about the education side of it, I trained a lot of the staff there that came in, the new people, you know, because cultivation is just labor mostly. Right. So
yeah. a lot of labor.
Yeah, exactly. So you can take new people and teach them the skill. As long as they have the ethic, they can be taught the skills, right? It's not necessary. So I trained a lot of the new people coming in, and I opened the packaging department. So all the staff there. So education was really kind of a part of it anyway for me. Plus with the medical education side of it, the knowledge. So in October, when our season was over here, I had always felt there was a huge gap, and the focus is too much on recreational high THC and not enough on what really makes cannabis medicine. Why we feel what we do when we consume. And I felt people needed to learn, right?
I agree.
We needed the knowledge.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Hey, Charles, Laura, Terry, Brenda. I agree 100%.
Hey, real fast.
Yes.
Sandra wanted to know if we're doing a 20% off sale for 420.
Yes, we are, Sandra. And no code needed. No code needed. It's a 420 sale. So we have it set up that, and it's on all of our oils are. I think it's on all of our oils. So Tony set that up. But yes, we do have a 420 sale going on and no code necessary.
Once again, he gets distracted. Sorry.
Every once in a while, I want to know if you would like to play a little music.
Here in a second, yeah.
All right. Oh, we've got some cool musicians and artists to introduce you to in the next coming weeks. You're just going to have to come and check it out, but I'm really excited about a couple of them. Yes, if you're an artist, if you're a band, if you're doing original music, reach out to me. I'm always looking for musicians, artists, bands to highlight and profile. So definitely reach out to me. What do you think, Queen Kate? Caitlin doesn't like music.
I like music just fine.
Well, and Doctor, Caitlin didn't read your book, not because she did not want to.
If you say that I don't know how to read, I'm going to slap
I didn't say you don't know how to read. I was just going to say you weren't capable.
Well, we'll give Kate an opportunity to get her very own copy tonight.
Right,
My
right.
goodness.
But we're going to have to put it on book on tape for her so she can get the full meaning. Uh, some of the larger words trip her up, and she just doesn't get to enjoy.
Well, funnily enough, I was in conversation with somebody today about turning them all into Audible books too. So that's coming.
Well, in today's society, uh, less and less people are actually physically reading, and more are going to the audio option. It
Yeah.
seems like, and to the podcast options, and it's very interesting. I mean, very different than when we were younger. I mean,
Oh, marketing has changed entirely. Marketing is now social media. You're
yeah.
spending all the big money on television or on radio. Social media is the place to build a brand anymore.
Oh, I agree.
So
I agree.
that's
Hell, before this, I didn't even. I would go days without even carrying my phone.
oh yeah.
And since we
I miss
started,
those days when they'd be going to reach you if you were at home.
right,
Yeah,
and we'll talk and make plans. But then once we
yeah,
started the company and all of this stuff, now it feels like the damn thing's attached to me.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
that kind of gets to be a drag. But you wrote this book with the aid of AI. And
Yes.
that's a big thing that's in the news now also, and I found
That
this
was,
really interesting.
I have to tell you, I've had this idea in my head for a while. So in October, I started to learn about AI technology. I was playing around with cryptocurrency and on YouTube, looking at cryptocurrency stuff, and I saw something about this new AI technology, and I watched the video, and I was like, "This is interesting." So I looked more and I researched more, and then I had an opportunity to get in on the beta online. So I started to play around with it, and I was curious what it knew about cannabis or what it could produce about cannabis, what sort of studies it could find. And so I started to input those sort of prompts, right? Trying to pull information out about cannabis.
Right.
And it was exceptional at what it could do. And the thing is, because I had so much experience, I could vet the information, right? I could read what it was producing and know there were times that mistakes were made, but simply had to input the correction and rework it, and it taught itself, right? Through it corrected itself through the input that you provided. When I was doing calculations,
Wow, that's amazing.
on my website, I have methods of extraction, right? Like how to prepare your butter, how to prepare all these different preparations, and how to get your dosing correct, because that's really an important part of it, right? Is accurate dosing.
Oh,
Right.
most certainly.
Yeah, so I was trying to teach that. So I wanted it to do the calculations, right? Because it's computer. It's probably better at math than I am, but it missed the calculations. So I had to re-put the information in so it was correct. But it really made it, because just to write as much as I have, 25 books, you need to research quick, and to plod through online research study after research study and have to find them all is very difficult. This technology is able to do it all. Then I can read what's there and produce the information, right? And all the books that I've written have all the studies cited, so that, because I'm bringing new people, or trying to bring new people to cannabis, I want them to have the science-based evidence there. Who cares what I say? What I say doesn't matter. It's what does science say?
Right.
So I'm asking people to be confident in what I'm telling them. I'm just presenting the information in a way that shows there's potentially a benefit. Here's the proof. perhaps if you're curious, you should take that step forward and try it. It may improve your life.
Right.
You know,
And speaking of the studies, I go through and search them and then have to pull them up and read it, and it may be what I'm looking for. It may not be. And no, I think that I might have to explore that for some of my research. And
it's a fascinating tool.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. What I love about your book is that somebody that is just curious, or cannabis curious, that just, I mean, really has only heard the propaganda that's been put out there, to somebody that's been around a while but wants to learn a little bit more, but doesn't want to get involved in those in-depth studies or doctor-to-doctor studies that takes you hours to read and even longer to figure out.
Yeah.
This book is wonderful. I mean, it goes into cannabinoids, it goes into terpenes. It breaks down both the early in the book views on pro cannabis and anti cannabis, and yeah, it gives level arguments for both sides, and I love it because it is a all encompassing, honest look at cannabis.
I'm 100% pro cannabis. I truly am. But not everybody will benefit from cannabis. Not everybody will feel good from using it. And if I want to be unbiased and just present the evidence that's there in order to help somebody make an informed decision about the direction of their healthcare, I have to talk about both sides of the story.
Exactly.
Because it's not one-sided. Every story has two sides. And if I'm pro cannabis, it could be viewed the wrong way. So it's best to be open and straight.
You have to be. You have to be. I mean, that is a must because it builds credibility.
So Kayla wants to know. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm just gonna pop my dog out for a second.
Sorry about that. You're okay. We can answer this question. It's all good. So Kayla wanted to know where she could buy this book at. And Kayla, girlfriend, you must have missed the first part of the show because we are giving these books away. Ebooks tonight.
Everybody that wants an ebook. So tell people if they want a free copy of this Cannabis Medicine ebook by Doktor High, get over here.
Yes.
And we are going to be giving away.
Invite
them. Yep. Invite. Tell people that they're going. And I tell you, I read this book. And anybody that has watched this show for a while knows that I love to read. And if I find information helpful, I definitely share it to everyone. And this is a book that I think every cannabis user should read. I think you should be informed. Education is key. And you need to know what you're talking about and how to speak intelligently to people about cannabis, and that's how we make a difference.
Okay, and real fast. Yes. Hello, Crystal Thomason. Hello, Josh Eastup. Hello, Bearded Buds. Hello.
Namaste.
Benjamin McNeese. I think I've already seen you, but I'll say hi to you again. Hey.
Oh, she's favoring Benjamin tonight.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Elizabeth Whitted. Hello, Jane Doe. Hello, Tashmika. Hello, Thank Doris. You. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Jesse. Hello, Stephanie. Hello, Chris Trailer. Hello, Sherry. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Gypsy. And hello, Gina.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Doktor High is, I feel so honored to have him on our show tonight. But also, let's play one song. When we get back, we're going to hit the hashtag for what we're going to give away.
Yeah.
We're going to get back and we're going to talk to Doktor High more about the book because I tell you, everybody needs a copy of this book. It's got great information. You're going to love it.
Yes. So I'm going to play us a tasty lick right quick.
A tasty lick. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be tasty.
We're going to play some Tristan beers first.
Ah, Tristan beer.
Beers.
Beer.
No, beer.
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 Okay, here we go.
All right, here we go.
That means be quiet.
Not right now.
You and me tonight. There's no place I'd rather spend my time. You know how I adore you so. And I just want to let you know that the color of your eye, bluer than the seven seas. You know how I adore you so, and I don't want to let you go. But if you come back one more time, I'll bring no trouble. I'll bring no trouble. I'll only bring the sunshine. I'll bring no trouble. I'll only bring the sunshine. The way you look tonight, more beautiful than the brightest stars. You know how I adore you so, and I just want to let you know that the color of your eye, more bluer than the seven seas. You know how I adore you so, and I don't want to let you go. But if you come back one more time, I'll bring no trouble. I'll bring no trouble. I'll only bring the sunshine. And if you dance with me one more time, I'll bring no trouble. I'll bring no trouble. I'll only bring the sunshine. no trouble. Oh, I'll bring no trouble. Oh, I'll bring no trouble. I'll only bring the sunshine. You and me tonight. There's no place I'd rather spend my time. You know how I adore you so. I'm the one to let you go.
Boom.
And we're back. That was Tristan Beard. We are going to get him on the show, I think, on an interview in July. But, you know, he's from South Africa and he's in the UK. I think Belgium right now is working on some stuff. So he'll be ready to go here in, I think July is what I was told to be on the show. So we're looking forward to that. He's got some very, very chill music. Anyway, we're back with Dr. High. Let all your friends know that anybody that wants a copy of his book is Cannabis Medicine is going to get a chance to get a free copy tonight.
Tonight.
So tell people to jump on here because this is a book you want. So did this book come out to your expectations? Is this what you were hoping to achieve when you set out for your writing this?
I've had the opportunity to read other books on the topic. One of them, the paperback is $120. Hardcover is $250, but it was far too technical, right, for people. And how this came about was the quality assurance manager that I worked with when I was in the industry a year ago. Said that there was an opportunity to do product formulation under their license. So I could potentially develop products and have them go to market underneath their license. So I wouldn't require licensing myself. I would just be the guy who created the formulas.
Right.
And I've been looking at nanoemulsion because the body's not made of oil. So if you're taking oil, cannabis oil, most of it is passing through. You're only realizing maybe between 4 and 20% of the available cannabinoids in that oil. The rest isn't absorbed. Yeah. So it's expensive, right? And your body's not taking it in. So you're spending a lot of money on product that you're not even gaining the benefit from. So I've been looking at
that's wasting money right there. And none of us like to waste money.
And potential physiological benefit.
Right.
And because people are taking this to medicate, if they're not getting the medication and they're spending the money because insurance isn't covering it. So by going and doing nanoemulsion into distilled water, you can increase bioavailability by about 600%.
Well, that's incredible.
It really is. And what I've been looking into is how to formulate these nanoemulsions to target specific things such as inflammation or pain or anxiety through the use of terpenes and flavonoids and cannabinoids inside the nanoemulsion, so we can look at specific treatment areas by using the profiles that work for those particular things.
You see, brother, you and I are on the same wavelength here. And I think that we can even go a step beyond and add proven other natural herbal substances in that will really enhance, everything and bring it all together.
Exactly. Because all plants contain terpenes and flavonoids, right?
Yes,
And there's so many beneficials. And that's the funny thing. It's only now coming to the forefront in cannabis that people are talking about this. It's kind of the new thing, really. The last few years that terpenes have become a big topic of conversation. And there's been plenty of study on them because they're found in resources other than cannabis.
Oh, certainly.
So the benefits are fairly widely known, but nobody's done the studies on how the cannabinoids, the actual THC and CBD and CBG and CBN, nobody's done the studies on how the synergy is working between what they already know and the unknown. And that's where the magic is most likely happening when it comes to the healing.
Right.
So it's important that these things are considered. So that's kind of where the book came about. As I was doing the research to try and put together formulations for the products, I thought, I can take this information and make it really accessible to people.
Right.
And it's an important companion book, I think, to the other books that I do, because the other books that I've done target specifics: anxiety and depression and cannabis use, PTSD and cannabis. They look at this specific medical condition because, it's much easier to buy a 40-page book and consume that to find out enough information if you're suffering from one of these conditions, that's cheap and accessible and written in a way that you don't have to have any kind of medical knowledge or anything like that to be able to understand it.
Right.
This book is a perfect companion to it because it goes much deeper into actually why cannabis works the way it does, what each different individual component is capable of, and not all of them, obviously, because there's hundreds. You know what I mean? There's so many potential combinations. There's no way to look at them all. So what I tried to do was take the 35 most prevalent found in cannabis, because that's most likely what you'll find. And below those levels, the thresholds are so low that I can't see any company ever testing for them.
Right.
Real fast. No, I'm cutting both of you off.
Cool.
Both of you be quiet. Stop the presses.
Yeah.
I want you to give a shout out to Elizabeth. She sent us 50 stars.
Elizabeth, namaste. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. So let's spin this wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
No.
It's spinning.
It's spinning.
If it's me, I'm going to have to spin again.
We're going to give you tonight.
Okay, it's not me.
This is going to be a rolling tray. Ronnie, congratulations. Rolling tray. Papers. And they go, yeah, we know that. We know that. We are also going to include one of our grinders tonight with that.
We should add something else.
What?
I think we should add a t-shirt.
Mama Roachee wants to throw in a t-shirt with this tonight.
Ronnie says, I'm here in my corner.
So, Ronnie, that's what you have won. So, Caitlin, tell Ronnie what they must do in order to claim the prize, also color and size.
I'm not so much worried about the color, more the size.
Size. So, Ronnie, hello there, you beautiful soul. This is what you need to do. You need to send a private message to Master Roachee, not me, Master Roachee, with your address. Did you say beard oil?
No, he's getting a t-shirt. He's getting a rolling tray, rolling papers, and a grinder.
Okay, with your address and your t-shirt size. Address and t-shirt size. And then we'll get a present in the mail.
Yeah,
We'll throw some slaps in.
Oh, there'll be slaps included and some other stuff, but we just don't do this.
Not on a Thursday.
Not on a Thursday.
Usually it's me running the show on Thursdays, and I take it
But this is 420, and who better to be celebrating 420 with than Doktor High? And yes, and I mean, and that's one part of the book when you start breaking down the terpenes and the cannabinoids, I find really interesting. But I take exception to something that you said, that this is a good companion book. In my opinion, this should be the first book people get and read, and then pick up the book on more specifics, because then it's going to make more sense to them.
So I think since it's
Right.
420, we should do that one more time.
Mom's feeling generous.
All
tonight.
right. We're going to do the same price package one more time here.
One more time.
Here in
But
a
Ronnie
few.
can't get in on this one.
But
Yes.
Ronnie, you can't get in on this one.
But
Sorry.
Ronnie, you can't get in on this one.
But namaste, Hunter.
Yes, hello,
Namaste.
Hunter. Hello, hello.
David. Nice to see you. Melissa. Good to see you. Wonderful meeting you in Kansas City at CannaFest. Had a great time. Too bad the weather and everything was the way it was, because I would have loved to spend more time with you.
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean, the way that this is written is just such a great base knowledge for people.
It has to be simple to understand, right? That's where I came in, was in bringing it to that level, because people, it's new information. Endocannabinoid system, maybe you've heard of it. Most people haven't. Entourage effect, people are starting to hear more about this, but this is really, really important.
Exactly.
The interaction between cannabinoids and terpenes and flavonoids and our system, our bodies. It's meant to keep us in balance, homeostasis. That system is super important.
I'm loving it, brother.
When it's out of balance, it can lead to all kinds of issues, right? So cannabis can artificially keep that thing on the move for us, you know?
Certainly. And we add in the benefits of CBD and the other cannabinoids. I mean, we have just a huge palette to paint from.
Yeah. See, I'm only really a fan of isolates, THCA or distillate, for the purposes of accurate dosing. But I don't think necessarily as a medicine that the isolates are the best choice, right? Unless you're dealing with pain and you're smoking high distillate or whatever, vaping it to get that instant relief, then it's important. But I think more often it's important to look at full plant medicines.
Oh, I agree. I definitely agree. And what we're doing with our CBD is one of our formulations for nights is a full spectrum CBD, but then we add in CBN and a little bit of Delta 8 in it. Our one for inflammation is full strength or full spectrum CBD, CBDA, and CBG. Okay. So for inflammation and concentration, kind of, because CBG, it's just amazing within itself.
Right. Well, you can access fruit-derived terpenes very inexpensively. And they're the same thing because they're isolated terpenes. There's a place out of Florida that does fantastic stuff. You can take that and look at the terpenes and flavonoids that are complementary to the preparations you're making already.
Right.
And actually increase the benefit and the delivery of your products with the addition of things like that, right? And that's the sort of thing that needs to come more to the forefront. We need to start looking at targeting specific medical, physiological issues that come from illness with cannabis. And
I agree.
It's natural. It's, I think it's really important.
I agree 100.
Miraculous, but I'm just a really firm believer, and I've seen what it does, and I wanted people to have the confidence to go to see a doctor, discuss it, because it's hard to talk to your doctor if you don't have knowledge, because right away the doctor's going to push back when you talk about cannabis.
Exactly.
So without a little bit of knowledge behind you, a little bit of confidence in what you're talking about, then it's easier to speak with a doctor or make the decision to seek out a doctor who will work with you to, to provide you with the prescription.
Yes, and I mean, education is such a
Doctor.
oh, hold on. We might have been having a
Technical difficulties.
yeah connection
Technical
issue
error.
Oh, there you are.
There we go. We kind of lost.
Technically.
Kind of lost you there for just a moment. I'll tell you what, we're going to play a quick commercial, and then we're going to come back and talk a little bit more. We'll spin for this wheel. Then we will tell everybody how to get a copy of your book. Because, yes, I'm making everybody wait. I'm doing this intentionally.
Somebody's figured it out.
I think that by now they should have figured it out.
Somebody figured it out.
It's called teasing. So
anticipation.
Right?
Waiting for that ketchup to drip out of the bottle.
the old Heinz commercial.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. So
ready, Freddie?
Self-promotion.
I'm muting you both. I hate how short that commercial is.
Kate hates the short commercial, but I know you'd rather watch it than have her scream Master Roachee's Garden at you.
Excuse me. Hang on. Dr. High, please tell me which one you prefer. Yes, I have to take the crown off because things are going to get a little bit reckless for a second. Shut the door. You'll hear me in the other room.
Should I be worried?
Hey fam, it's Kate. Head on over to MasterRoachee'sGarden.com where you can pick up some beard oil or some CBD oil or maybe try one of our rapid relief cartridges. Head over there today.
There. All right.
See, isn't that better?
The shameless self-promotion is over, at least for the time being. But yes, you know what? We are a small company. We enjoy everybody's support. We appreciate you. We love hearing how the products are helping everybody. And remember, we want everybody to enjoy their cannabis experience, whether it's medically, recreationally, but we want you to do it in a safe, educated manner. And if you do have that moment where you're over consuming, some CBD oil can help. It's not a Narcan. It's not going to make you not high, but it's going to help you with the negative aspects, the paranoia, the irritation, the agitation, so anxiety. That's what it's going to help you with. So be careful, be smart, be educated in your use. And, that's what we believe here at Master Roachee's Garden. Doctor, back to you, my friend.
I like that advice.
You want me to do this?
Okay. Oh, yeah, let's go ahead.
And what are we spinning the wheel for?
Same price package as before. Rolling tray, papers, grinder, t-shirt. It's a yes. This is the first time we've ever done this. First show, but it's 420. We want to celebrate, and very shortly,
a big box.
Very shortly, we're going to be telling you
a big box. It's been de ville. I did it.
You did it.
I did it.
You did it. Of course, you did it. Normally you say, I didn't do it.
Chuck Lloyd.
Chuck Lloyd, congratulations. Congratulations. Is Chuck here?
I mean, he just commented
All right.
Amanda Lloyd. Chuck Lloyd.
Yeah, I see Chuck Lloyd.
Chuck Lloyd is here.
Yes.
So, Chuck Lloyd, what I need you to do, my friend, send Master Roachee.
That's me.
Send him a private message with your address.
Private message. No private photographs. No, different. Private message, no private photographs. Yes. Yes.
Take a man on a date first. Send him your address and your t-shirt size, and we will get that package sent out to you.
It's not that I don't appreciate lovely ladies and all, but yes, yes.
Well, their name's Chuck. His name's Chuck. So,
I know, and yes, I don't need to see any.
You don't want to see Chuck?
I don't need to see anything that Chuck has to offer.
You don't want to see Chuck?
No, not particularly. I don't want to see most of the stuff that I have to see.
I'm sorry, Chuck.
But
I'm sure
Caitlin would be more than happy. So, private message Caitlin with that kind of stuff.
Well, considering considering that the man tagged somebody with the same last name as him, I would say that he's probably married. So, Chuck, please don't jeopardize what I hope has been a long and happy marriage at the expense of me. Please.
Not unless you get your partner's okay first.
It's all about consent.
There.
Go away.
There. All right, Doctor. I mean, this is an incredible book. I mean, we really haven't had long enough to kind of talk about everything. We've got to have you back on to talk more about this book because
Anytime,
all right. I mean, we're going to try it. Now, how long is this offer good for? Because we do have people that catch the show on
Mondays,
replay.
or on replay, yes.
Right. So
it was going to run it 24 hours, but I've decided to extend it for another day. So it'll be good until midnight, Friday, Pacific time.
Midnight Friday Pacific time.
Midnight
Pacific
Friday.
time, yeah.
All right. So you heard that. Anybody that's interested in getting this free copy of this book, you have until midnight Friday Pacific time in order to get this offer. And then after that, you are going to pay for it. So you're getting your opportunity right now. I would highly, highly, highly suggest this book. You're not going to be disappointed. It's a good read. It's not heavy. It's not hard. It's an easy read, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was going to take me a lot longer to get through the book than what it did, and I was pleasantly surprised. The information is easily digestible, and the format that is laid out is great. So, Doctor, how do they get a copy of your book?
Well, they can visit my Facebook page, Doktor High, Doktor High, and you'll find my posts there. Or you can look for David Johnson, which is my alias.
Right. I was not going to disclose that, but
yeah, okay. I don't work under my name because, like I said, the kind of information that I'm providing, I don't look like the kind of guy you're going to take the information from necessarily, So, and it's not about my opinion; it's about the science, right? So, I'd rather put that at the forefront. Doktor High at the forefront. It's not about personal glory for me or anything like that. It's really just about informing people and helping.
And that's it. It's education, it's normalizing, it's changing the stigma that is making all of this becoming more socially acceptable. We have to work on the medical professionals. Those are, unfortunately, instead of the people that should be leading this, are the people that are resisting it, and it's kind of silly. But
Well, I think that evolution will come once you have federal legalization in the U.S. Universities get the opportunity to see cannabis. They get the results in their studies. Those results end up in their medical schools, and I think it's going to be an evolution like that. But I think it's going to be a while to go still,
right,
It's
and
unfortunate. But
we we have one of the presidential contenders came out and said something stupid about what high strain of THC was causing mass shootings. We have another president candidate that can't even spell weed. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know where we're going to go from here because as far as
it's going to happen.
yeah, but it's got to happen.
It's going to happen.
It has
Canada
to.
in 2018, Uruguay a couple of years before that, Thailand, I think last year. Germany is opening full recreation medical, I think this summer. So it's really starting to tip, right? And the U.S. likes to be ahead, and there's money involved.
The U.S. and the country that I find surprisingly lagging behind is our friends in the UK. I mean, the EU is moving right forward, but the UK seems to be, I mean, even further behind than our prohibition state of Indiana.
But what's funny? You're actually ahead of Canada in some ways because you can buy CBD openly. It's not regulated. So I imagine you're working with CBG and CBN because those are under the same consideration as CBD. So you're only restricted on the THC aspect, correct?
Correct.
Now, in Canada, you can't buy CBD other than in a licensed dispensary.
Really?
So, yeah. So you can't buy a CBD vape or a CBD oil unless it has been produced through a licensed Health Canada licensed producer and has gone through the legal chain of distribution.
And and we have a big problem with that here in the United States because of the unscrupulous people that are putting out CBD. We have COAs on all of our products posted on our website. We want people to know what we're putting out. We're very proud of our formulations. And if a CBD company is not willing to do that, I mean, yes, and we don't shop around. Our lab is our lab. They give us the results whether we like it or not. And it also tells us how we're doing. So, having that consistency from that same lab really helps us. But we were talking before the show how it's easy to go out and shop your stuff around and find a favorable lab report.
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, it does work like that. Yeah, you do have that opportunity, but the testing and the thing I would question also is who's supplying this much CBD to the marketplace. I mean, hemp is in the really high CBD, 3%. In the hemp that you can grow legally, that's got 0.03% THC or less.
Right.
So it takes a lot of plant material to extract. In order to extract that material, you have to invest millions of dollars in equipment to do the work. So is all the CBD coming from China, where it's not being watched the same way as it would be, say, from California?
My understanding is now I was at CannaCon in Chicago a year and a half ago and was talking to several people, and they said, we've got barrels of CBD sitting in our garage because we just can't get rid of it. The market was just absolutely flooded with CBD because when it hit, everybody jumped on it and overproduced, and we're still kind of saturated at this time. So now it's going to take the companies that are producing the best product are going to rise to the top. But there's just so much
As
CBD on the market.
As it should be, right?
Right.
And once again, you get mass production and passion, and you're going to have contamination. You're going to have all kinds of issues, right? So without the passion, the quality could there. Companies that are good rise to the top, for sure.
That's what we believe, and I do. I am in favor. I would like to see more of industry setting self regulations and self standards for the industry than to have any government regulations or control, because I think that we're in a very good industry, and there's a lot of good, honest people that care about the plant,
Yes.
the medicine, and what it can do. And I think we could self-regulate and do very, very well. But like you said, there's some unscrupulous people here that are just making a money grab and really don't care about the plant, the product, just the profit.
Well, that's it. And I think in the States, you'll have more opportunity than we do in Canada, because the financial costs of entering the legal market in Canada are prohibitive. You have to have a fully built out facility, completely built. I mean, ready to put plant one in before you can apply for the license.
That's a hell of a gamble.
Yeah, it's exactly a hell of a gamble. And if you're building, like the facility that I worked in, the big legal facility, was almost $50 million.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was serious. I mean, they're reasonably sure you're going to get the license. But we had a hell of a time getting the sales license because of a criminal conviction the master grower had from years prior. So they really take those things into consideration, the background. And, it's really hard to get in. So we're not going to have the same entrepreneurial spirit in the production side of things.
Right.
Where we have that is in the distribution end, in the dispensary end, where individuals were allowed to apply for licenses to open stores, and they weren't regulated the same way. But if you didn't have millions, you couldn't play in the game. And then we have huge people who are barred, people like Mark Emery, who can't even participate in the legal industry because of his convictions, in the past and the time he served over there. And this guy's cannabis royalties, one of the most knowledgeable people on the planet, and he can't participate in the industry.
Yeah.
So the states has some advantages.
Yeah, these rules and laws are asinine. These are the people you want in the industry.
Yes.
Exactly. It's crazy. And I think right now, it's the older generation that is really leading the charge on the knowledge and the education, because we've kind of been there since the very beginnings of all of this, and seen everything, transpire, and have kept the knowledge and shared the knowledge within the, a smaller community. And now the younger generation's picking up on even more benefits than what we knew about, and going, okay, how do we create the best stuff here? What should we be looking for? And they're kind of coming to the older people and going, hey.
It's because it concentrates, right? It's such a different experience. When you get into concentrates, when you start with shatters and dabs and wax and terp sauce and rosin, it's like fine wines, right? A joint, every joint tastes the same by the time you're done smoking half that joint. If you want to taste the terpenes, you got to pull through the joint before you ever put a flame to it, and then you'll get the essence of the plant. But once you light it up, it's done. So with concentrates, especially low temp dabbing, the flavors are phenomenal.
You see, I like I like vaporizing. That is one of my favorite ways of consumption, just because of the reasons you just spoke about. In order to get that flavor profile and really taste everything, you have to do the low temp or the vaporizing.
And a lot of these terpenes and flavonoids are volatile at low temperature.
Yes, they are.
you're actually converting those into different molecules, some of which are harmful. When the e-nails and the early dab rigs that you could preset to temperatures were coming out, they were setting them for 800 and 1,000
Wow.
degrees. And that is way too hot to dab. You get ripped. I mean, I've had sweat dripping off my elbows after taking a dab off of something like that. But
Right.
you're getting into an area.
Don't you want to be in an area like 400 to 600 degrees somewhere?
Yeah,
somewhere
that's it. I mean, you start pulling the valuable compounds off somewhere around 360, 370, and by the time you hit around 450, you've pretty much stripped everything that's that's beneficial in the plant. And combustion of plant material is not good for anybody. Like there's no way. I was saying one time, I had a 70-year-old lady come into the store looking for a glass pipe. And I asked her, and she's covering her mouth and whispering about this glass pipe. And I said, they ask you why you're looking for a glass pipe? And she tells me that the doctor has just prescribed her cannabis. And he suggested that she go down and get a glass pipe to take her medicine. And I said, listen, this is really not the right way for you to proceed. If you do this, you'll take your medicine one time. You'll have such a horrible experience with the coughing and the harshness, you're not going back to it. I said, this is what you need. You need a dry herb vaporizer. This way you can consume the medicine in a pleasant way, enjoy the benefits, and not be put off by the experience. So these are the kind of things that these older people need to learn, right? When they come back to it. Because there's no point giving somebody a prescription for something they're not going to take. Just because the delivery is pleasant.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. See, you were talking about generations earlier. And in our generation, there's really there's a division, right? There's the kids who smoked pot in high school and stopped and went on to have a life. And there's the kids who never stopped smoking pot after high school. So a lot of the people from that high school days who've gone on and had their careers, they're at the age now where their bodies are starting to show the wear and the aging is coming in, and they have the benefit to come back to cannabis because they know from their experience in high school it's not harmful.
Right.
It doesn't do any harm necessarily. It may not do what you need it to do, and you may not get the benefit, but at least you're not going to get the harm from trying.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
And that's really the kind of group I was interested in. That's really my target demographic are, people 30 and up, kids who are becoming caretakers to their elder parents now who can benefit. My wife is a nurse and she works in long-term care. And there are so many patients there who are interested in trying cannabis. But in long-term care, they don't get out to the doctor comes into them. So they don't have the opportunity to seek a different doctor who may be willing to work with them. So the doctor in this particular facility is not on board with cannabis, doesn't think there's any benefit to it. And unfortunately, these people can't gain access, right? So if they have a child that advocates for them, then we can still get them what they need because they can't prevent them from using it. They can prevent them from smoking joints in the old age home, but there are so many other ways to consume and receive the benefit that, one of the best, if you're actually a cultivator yourself, is juicing. Juicing, you can get all the benefits of the plant and none of the psychoactive effects, so you can go about your day-to-day business without having to worry about being stoned when you're at work or whatever the case may be, but still get the benefit. Your body does the conversions through the liver and you still get access to everything there. The carbolic acids come off. So it's really perfect, but you have to be a cultivator because you need weight. And that's how we were getting the first prescriptions in Canada. We were telling the doctor the intention was to juice. My first prescription was 33 grams a day. which allowed me to produce, I think it was 246 plants. Now, they estimate a plant is good for 30 to 45 grams. I harvested plants 11 feet tall. I got a little more than 45 grams per plant. Because I was restricted on plant count, but not on plant size.
Right. Yes. Yes. That's very nice. Very nice. I love it. Well, you know what, Doc? I think we're going to kind of wrap it up for this Thursday 420 celebration. I want to thank you so much, sir, for coming on. Just loads and loads and loads of information. And I want to make sure everybody gets out there and gets a copy of this book. Remember, it's only good until midnight, Friday night, Pacific time.
Hey, real fast.
It's not available on the website. It's only available on Facebook. This was
only available on
Facebook for the Facebook community, or you can go directly to Amazon and search Is Cannabis Medicine or drhigh.ca. Either way, you can get to the book, but you won't find it if you go to my website because I don't have it listed there for this release. I wanted to do this as a special Facebook community thing because
Wonderful.
I'm new to the community and I wanted to, bring something to the table, right? And encourage people to interact with me so that I could maybe help them find the right, path for themselves, or provide information or whatever I can do. So,
and friend David on Facebook. We've been friends for a while. I've been talking about this, and it's great finally getting to see you face to face.
It is nice to meet you too.
Yeah,
and I've really enjoyed my time with you tonight.
You know what? This has been absolutely wonderful, and we may have to get you back on a Monday show because it's a little bit different audience, but I think that they could really, really benefit from what you're putting out.
Well, this is what I do now is Doktor High. So I am always available, Master Roachee, to get together and talk about the benefits of cannabis. Maybe sometimes we'll talk about the risks too, but mostly the benefits because there are more benefits than risks.
Exactly.
And I want to point this out too, because he always forgets. You are getting a lot of love and thank yous in the comments for all of the information that you've shared with us tonight.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to share, and keep an eye on what I'm doing on Facebook because I'll be posting. A lot of what I post is from the books, and I try to give away books every week, but not like this book. This book is going to be different amongst the rest. So this would really be the one you'd want, and then look for, if you have a specific medical condition, then take a look at what I have available. I have 24 different books on specific medical conditions, from ADHD to sleep disorders to eating disorders to cancer and chemotherapy, and they would make excellent companions to this. So on my website, those are always free. You can go to the website and go into the contact us section. Give me your email. Let me know which book you'd like me to send. I will send it out. They're available on Amazon, but there's no need to pay for them. You can get them directly from the website. And this book here makes an excellent companion to any of those.
Wonderful, wonderful read. I highly recommend it. One of the best books on cannabis, especially if you're just getting into it or you have a little bit of knowledge and want to expand, but you don't want to read the studies and other literature that's out there. This is fantastic. And the great thing about Doktor High is when you go into Google these questions on the internet, you'll pull up articles that'll talk about this. But if you ever notice, the articles are sponsored by a company. It's not an independent voice, and it's always, well, we just went through all of this wonderful list of things it can do, and our product's the one that can do it for you. We don't do that at Master Roachee's Garden. We want honest opinions. That's why we love what's being presented in a non-biased way, no company affiliations.
None.
And I highly recommend this book.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. We'll be getting with you, and we'll get something else lined up here in the future. And if nothing else, I want to continue our conversation in the future because I love learning, and I know you do too. And I think we can exchange a lot of cool information.
Well, and you know, the other good part about it, Master Roachee, is you already have a good network built up with people within that network that can use the help and help disseminate the information. And I am willing to work with anyone to get that information out there with them. So, you know, it's all about helping the community out. And the beautiful thing is you have a pretty good network out there. I'm quite sure that may benefit from these resources also.
We do, and we're going to be even adding more veterans to our community here in the near future. We have some wonderful stuff that we're looking forward to announce in the next probably 30 days.
Well, we can arrange for any of those veterans administrations to have access to original copies of the ebooks for PTSD, anxiety, and depression, things that will be beneficial to the veterans as far as giving them that little bit of knowledge. And I'm more than happy to give that so that they can give them to anybody who, you know, wants that information or is looking to find out more.
David,
I love that.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I will involve you as we move forward on this. But yes, I will definitely get you involved in the talks as we move forward.
Yeah, that would be my pleasure.
Yeah, that would be a wonderful
these guys
thing.
deserve it. They don't get the credit that they should for what they do, and I think that some of them can benefit from cannabis therapy. You know, so
yeah, a huge amount of veterans are benefiting, and we want to make sure that every veteran gets an opportunity to benefit from this amazing plant and the medicine it produces.
It's important.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, you have a absolute wonderful evening and 420, Dr. High. David.
Same to you.
Thank you so very much.
Been a pleasure to be with you this evening, and look forward to the next time we have the opportunity to talk.
Very good. Very good, my friend.
Have a wonderful night. Good night, Queen Kate.
Good night, David.
Thank you so much, and we'll be seeing you soon, hopefully.
Very good. Very good.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
What an incredible man Dr. High is. I love talking to him. Like I said, we've been back and forth, read the book, and as soon as I got through it, I thought, we've got to get him on the show. So, yeah.
No, I liked him.
Yeah, I'm just full of information. His path to where he's gotten has given him insight that you just normally wouldn't get.
Right.
So, you know, it's great. I hope everybody has had a fantastic 420. Thank you for joining us tonight.
If you've stuck around this long, I have a special surprise.
You heard it here first. Caitlin, the talent, has a special surprise.
So, as you guys know, we've been doing this for a while. This whole shebang. And we used to just do the Thursday night vibes, the Thursday night vibes live, and then also
that I wanted to quit.
That you wanted to quit several times, and I had to talk you through.
Yes.
So me and Mama would go out on the golf cart when it was still functioning on day-long expeditions to record Facebook Reels.
And we will have it functioning again.
Yes.
I assure you.
Yes. And as some of you might have noticed, we have been posting Facebook Reels here lately.
I've noticed.
I know you noticed. So I have went into the archives.
For our friends that may not have understood the Facebook Reel with you and Gas, Caitlin has a tradition, a habit.
It's a bad habit.
Of going to the gas station and leaving
Overconfidence.
and running out of gas.
Overconfidence, some might argue, and myself.
So her sitting by the side of the road waiting for gas is nothing new. Hence the commercial or reel.
Yes. But, so this is going to be a little wonky for a moment, but bear with me.
A little wonky.
Let's see.
So what Kate considers a little wonky and what the rest of us consider really wonky. All right.
It's just going to be a smidgen wonky, I swear.
A smidgen. I don't know what a smidgen is, but it's going to be wonky.
Kayla, if you want advice, I need something for people to get advice on.
I mean, you really want advice from Caitlin?
Okay, here we
All
go,
right.
kids. Let's see. Unmute site.
Has life been draining you lately? Well, don't let the drain get you down. Visit MasterRoachee'sGarden.com for one of our rapid release cartridges. And don't forget to sign up for our newsletter while you're there. Has life been draining you lately?
Oh,
Well, don't let
okay.
the drain
This is just
get you
so
down.
good. I love
Visit
it. It's my favorite.
MasterRoachee'sGarden.com for one of our rapid release cartridges. And don't forget to sign up for our newsletter while you're there.
And to think, though, that was only about a year ago.
Yes. Now, you should thank me because she wanted to play it at least twice. At least. If I hadn't stopped her, you would still be watching that on a loop.
Listen, I could watch myself all day.
Yes.
Just entertain myself so much.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Just
so
a little narcissistic.
everybody's asking for advice.
But what do they want advice on?
Yes, if you want advice, I need to know what you want advice on so I can run with something.
Oh.
So,
Caitlin.
get those creative juices a-flowing, kids.
What is your advice for somebody that wants their employer to reduce their hours? How would you go about doing this?
How dare you?
I mean,
How dare you?
I'm getting
How
worked to
dare you?
death, and I
How
want to
dare
tell my
you?
employer that I really enjoy what I do, and thank you, but I can't keep working the hours that I'm working. A lot of us are in this position, and I want to know, for a personal reason, how I should approach this subject and say, look, I don't want to quit, but I can't just keep working the schedule.
You don't be Caitlin because Caitlin has no balls.
Well, of course, this is bad advice from Caitlin. So, Caitlin, how would you handle this situation?
You talk to everybody about it except for the person that you're supposed to talk to about it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's some good bad advice. And what happens when you do talk to them?
You forget why you went to go in there to talk to them and you act like a giant coward with no balls.
And you take the simple brush off. Well, we'll revisit this in 2 to 3 weeks.
Listen.
So, the best advice I can give you is do the opposite of what she says or does.
Good night, Jane.
Good night, Jane.
Okay, so Stephanie Meyer wants to know.
Now, she's the one that thinks that she's got bunnies hopping around.
Yes.
Okay, I'm with you, Stephanie.
She wants to know.
Are your bunnies multicolored too?
Oh my gosh. She wants to know how do you freshen up people's farts? Why do they smell so bad?
Do what?
She said, what can you do to freshen up people's farts? They smell so bad.
Incense? Open windows?
I say a dryer sheet in the back of their underwear.
Corks?
Gas X. I say a dryer sheet in the back of the underwear.
Dryer sheet in the back of the underwear.
Yes, that's my advice. If as long as they know that their farts are smelly. If they don't know, maybe they need to be told.
And it could be their diet.
Do you ever think that
it's definitely
they are unaware? Because everybody loves their own brand.
Yeah. I know she does.
So
In fact, if you check out a reel from last summer
it's
that
not,
she
no,
put out.
It's not.
Oh
it's,
yeah, she
it's
farted
not a
right
reel. It's
on
not
the
a reel.
show,
It's
and
a TikTok.
then went and made a reel of it so she could post it
It's
on
a
her
TikTok.
page. So, no, sorry, TikTok. So you'll have to check out that TikTok. But yeah, she did do that.
Oh, James wants to know if they're organic farts or if they're regular farts. Depends on the person, I would say. You'd have to discuss their diet with them if they're willing to share that information with you. Kayla's comment. I gotta plug her up.
I personally like green peppers because yes, they do. I like them, but they hate me. I'm gonna have to get a pizza with green pepper one night before the show.
No, trash.
Yeah, yes,
trash.
Or a green bean burrito with green pepper. Ooh.
Yeah. Yes. So, also, Kayla wanted advice on how to get her husband to stop snoring. Now, this is a proven. I've done it myself. Back when me and my significant other used to sleep in the same room, the good old days. Back when we used to sleep in the same room, he snores really bad. So what I would do whenever he started snoring really loudly and I couldn't sleep is I would plug his nose.
Well, I guess that was better than the pillow that you used the first time.
Like, I'd pinch his nose like this, and then if he was still snoring, I'd take my other hand and cover his mouth. And then he would wake up for a brief moment, and
he thinks he's suffocating.
I'd have to.
The lack of oxygen causes people to panic and wake up.
Listen, as long as you let go, you gotta time it just right. It might take a couple practice tries. So, you can feel them start to, jolt awake. So, as soon as they, start to wake up, remove your hands and turn over and act like you're sleeping.
Does anybody else find this disturbing as I do?
And it works. They'll turn over and they'll stop snoring.
Well, yeah. I don't know about some of your advice here, Caitlin, but it's bad advice, so I should have come to expect this.
It's fair advice.
Yeah, I guess it depends on
it works. Proven methods.
Who is the giver and who is the recipient?
Proven methods.
Uh-huh. Would you like to say goodnight, Kate, for this 420 festival event?
Yes. Good night, fam. I'll see you all on Monday.
And as always, peace, love, and good vibes all. Thank you for watching.
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 I hope
attending.
This is the right outro.